Right now, the Aspen Acres fire continues to be the 7th largest wildfire in state history. As of this morning, it has burned more than 91,000 acres in Custer and Pueblo counties. The Pueblo County Sheriff says the fire has destroyed nearly 200 homes and 4 commercial buildings in the county. 78 homes have been destroyed in Custer County. Containment is now at 13%.
Meanwhile, the Willow Fire continues to burn about 6 miles west of Leadville. This one has covered more than 6 square miles, which is about half the size of Littleton. The last update shows it's 5% contained. There's a community meeting set for tonight at Lake County High School.
To the southwest, the Gold Mountain Fire is forcing new evacuation orders in Gunnison and Montrose counties. It has burned more than 45 square miles, which is about the size of Lakewood. As of this morning, the fire is 2% contained. The wildfires are causing some major concerns with our air quality. 9 News reporter Jaleesa Irizarry joins us now. Jaleesa, yesterday we had the worst air quality in the world. A tiny improvement this morning, but it is still terrible out there.
Yeah, that's right, Corey. We're currently at the 2nd worst air quality in the world, but we're slowly climbing there. And we've had some bad air quality for a while now. This is our 10th day in a row of an air quality alert. And doctors say it's having a real impact on people. Those at National Jewish Health say the current air quality is triggering a lot of folks with lung disease. They've seen an increase in people requesting inhalers and steroids, as well as some even being hospitalized because of the exposures. The state health department issued an air quality health advisory for the Front Range urban corridor from Douglas County north to Larimer and Weld counties. One Coloradan with chronic asthma says she has stayed home lately because the air quality right now is so uncomfortable.
It's just not a matter of having a hard time breathing. It hurts. It feels like there's little prickly things going around in there. If you could imagine, all of a sudden you have little sand particles going around inside your lungs.
And it's not just people with underlying health conditions that could be impacted on days like today. Little kids, older adults, pregnant people should probably limit their time outside. This current air quality alert is expected to last until at least 4 p.m. today. But I think the biggest question people have is if we'll get any relief anytime soon. So let's send it over to meteorologist Katie LaSalle. Katie, what are we seeing?
We are, thankfully, Jaleesa, going to be seeing improving conditions, not for today, but tomorrow afternoon. I'm really going to be watching the smoke forecast, and I'll show you that momentarily. But outside this morning, yes, it is smoky, it is hazy, air quality alerts in place. You can see why, and a large portion of Colorado, not just for the wildfire smoke, but continued high concentrations of ground level ozone. Absolutely unhealthy for sensitive groups. But if you've been out and about, especially doing any strenuous activity in the afternoon, especially, you'll probably feel it, runny nose, perhaps in the eyes, itchy. And for today, taking us over the I-25 corridor and east through at least 8 o'clock tonight. And of course, downwind of any of those larger fires burning in our state. That's where you'll see some of the densest smoke. 12 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, though, it'll be better, at least through the afternoon and evening on Wednesday. But for this morning, a clear but hazy sunrise, temperatures mild, 94 the high, not quite as hot as yesterday, but we are looking at some improvement with a little more rain in the forecast. I'll break down futurecast where we're expecting to see the wettest weather and how much moisture, some beneficial moisture that we're tracking through the middle and end of the week coming up in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Katie. Meanwhile, investigators are looking into a crash between a semi-truck and a bike early last night in Fort Collins. It killed the person on the bike. So it happened at the intersection of East Mulberry and Wedby. Officials say the semi was part of ongoing construction in that area. Construction workers were on scene when it happened. Brianna, let's bring you into the mix here. We know there are closures in that area still this morning because of that construction.
Yeah, so we had that fatal crash investigation that happened at that construction. That construction project actually started yesterday, so July 6th. And this is happening right at the intersection, like you mentioned, Drew. Mulberry is closed between Riverside and Remington Street. So the Fort Collins police, when they sent out that press release with all this information about this fatal crash investigation, they were also saying that construction will definitely impact your morning drive today. Now, construction is going to impact westbound closures, so July 6th, that started yesterday until Friday. We're also going to see some eastbound closures in that area starting next week, so from Monday until Friday, July 17th, so please keep that in mind. Here in the metro area, we are seeing some slowdowns this morning for anyone taking westbound I-70 just after 225, so closer to Peoria. I actually have a CDOT camera to show you. It looks like we have a brand new crash that just popped up. It looks like a disabled vehicle to me. I'm not seeing any vehicle or any crews there on scene right now, and it's sitting on that express lane, so that far left shoulder for anyone heading westbound along I-70. Traffic is moving, but of course, if anything changes throughout the morning or we're going to see crews there on scene, I will keep you guys updated.
Brianna, we appreciate that. Meanwhile, Aurora police are asking for help to find this 81-year-old missing woman. She's 5'2", about 140 pounds. She was last seen yesterday leaving a facility in Aurora near East Yale Avenue and South Havana Street. She was wearing a beige pants with a white shirt. Officials say she has a mental health impairment, which may impact her memory. And they also told us she's unfamiliar with the area and may think that she's actually in Poland. If you see her, call 911.
Also right now, investigators in Denver are looking for help finding a driver accused in a hit and run. On July 2nd, around 9:45 at night, officials say this car hit a bicyclist. This happened at the intersection of 15th and Wynkoop. The victim was seriously injured. The vehicle is described as a large SUV, possibly a 2004 to 2010 Nissan Armada or an Infiniti QX56. The car might have damage on the front passenger side. Anyone with information should call the Metro Denver Crime Stoppers number at the number right there at the bottom of your screen at 720-913-7867.
A heads up this morning for drivers in Wheat Ridge. There's a new speed camera right along Kipling between West 32nd and 34th Avenues. So for the next 30 days, speeding drivers will get a warning in the mail. Then starting August 5th, tickets will start going out. Wheat Ridge police say they've seen less speeding and fewer crashes in areas where these cameras are set up.
Loveland police have arrested a former jiu-jitsu instructor after an investigation into multiple allegations of sexual assault involving 2 minors. According to police, the investigation into Alexander Hawkeye Martinez, also known as X, started after the victims came forward. Police say the victims and Martinez knew each other, and the suspected offenses happened when Martinez was serving in a caregiving role. He was an instructor at Infinite Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Loveland. Investigators believe more victims may be out there. If anyone has information, contact the Loveland Police Department or the Larimer County Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen.
A former Mountain View Town Council member convicted of shooting a teenager in the face in 2024 is going to be sentenced today. Last month, a jury found Brent Metz guilty of assault and illegal use of a gun. 2 teenagers were on his property. They said they were looking for a spot to take homecoming photos when Metz confronted them. Prosecutors claim that Metz blocked the teenager's car with his truck. They say he pulled out a pistol and he shot one of the teens in the face. Metz has always claimed it was an accident. He faces up to 3 years in prison.
A judge says Barry Morphew's murder trial is set for next year. He is the man accused of killing his wife Suzanne on Mother's Day weekend 6 years ago. Prosecutors in Chaffee County originally charged Morphew in May 2021 with several felonies, including first-degree murder. In April 2022, prosecutors had the case moved to Fremont County and then dropped it entirely days before it could go to trial. Her remains were discovered in September 2023 in a shallow grave in Saguache County. A grand jury indictment followed, charging Morphew again with first-degree murder. The trial is expected to start in July of next year and last 6 weeks. If a jury were to convict Morphew of murder, he could face life in prison without the possibility of parole.
The Colorado Department of Corrections says there are 2 suspects in the deaths of 2 prisoners at Bent County Correctional Facility that's about 85 miles east of Pueblo. The Office of the Inspector General said it's leading this investigation just weeks after these deaths came to light. Following the incident, officials say the 2 suspects were immediately removed from the general population and placed into a more secure facility.
The Justice Department, Colorado, and 16 other states have reached a settlement agreement with 3 egg producers over claims they illegally worked together to raise egg prices. Cal-Maine Foods, Versova, and Hickman's Egg Ranch are accused of inflating prices from 2022 through 2025. Average U.S. egg prices reached a record high of about $6 per dozen in March 2025 during the bird flu epidemic. But critics accused big companies of taking advantage of their market dominance. The complaint also notes that prices dropped after the companies learned about the DOJ's investigation. The settlement requires the companies to collectively pay $3.3 million and donate 53 million eggs, which will go to food banks and nonprofits. None of the companies are admitting fault. The settlements still require court approval.
It is 6:08 on this Tuesday, July 7th. Your weather headlines. We're tracking showers and storms. Risk of severe weather today will be low, but we'll be watching a little bit of wet weather through the end of the week. Now, air quality, as you're probably very well aware, not great today. Improvement expected for tomorrow. Then that is all ahead of some extreme heat building. I'll have your extended forecast and your 7-day coming up after the break. Brianna.
And a quiet start to your Tuesday morning. No issues to report up and down I-25 from the Tech Center to downtown and vice versa. If you're heading southbound, only 12 minutes, north an 11-minute drive.